The Vesunna Museum site showcases the Roman origins of the city now known as Périgueux. It's located in the Dordogne region of southwest France, and it's located on the remains of a large Gallo-Roman residence. Located throughout the museum, evidence of the years of excavation that have taken place nearby. It's mostly a collection of sculpted blocks of stone that were used in parts of the buildings of architecture, inscriptions, or even gravestone monuments. They are amazing to see. They are richly decorated with florals, some with animals, and even some with faces on them. I went with my family to the Vesunna Museum in June of 2023. It was not busy, and as with most historic sites around France, you will notice their children are still in school. So, as was the case today and has happened to us in the past, there are often other students there who are actually part of a school field trip. This is the area that I found incredibly interesting, and honestly that surprised me the most, and I'm not sure why. These are the funeral monuments. There's a whole section of them. I don't know where they were found, but they were throughout the area, but they had all these inscriptions on them. I found it so interesting to think that these were what were found in the area. This is what was left behind and still standing. Headstones, essentially. I wish I knew more about it, but I found them all beautiful and just the amazing intricate carvings on them. And to think that these are 2,000 years old and they're standing here right before us in amazing condition. And also on display are old pieces of pottery. Again, amazing to think that these are potentially 2,000-year-old pieces, and here they are in front of us. Now here's where it really gets cool. This is what was discovered. In 1959, excavations revealed the remains of a large house. It was richly decorated with wall paintings. They simply stumbled upon it at this construction site, and once it was found, construction stopped, and this became an archaeological site. The ancient town of Vesunna occupied about 60 hectares along a river. It was divided up and essentially created by Emperor Augustus. The planning and architecture of this new city was meant to express the Roman order and encourage the adoption by the local population of a new style of life. The city seems to have been a vast construction site until at least the middle of the 2nd century. Occupied from the 1st to the 3rd century, this residence was contemporary. It was arranged around a central garden. The rooms were heated by hypocaust, a kitchen. There were reception rooms, baths, and they all bear witness to the wealth of its inhabitants. And here you see parts of murals that were on the walls in this ancient home. And amazing to think, you can see exactly how it's assembled with each stone and mortar holding it all together. You've got columns, very typical of the actual Roman period, and that is the central garden. The house is built to go around that entire garden. Look at those large stones. You even see how they were cut out of the ground, and to think they were actually carried here. Amazing if these walls could talk. Here you see an actual old fresco, this painted on the wall as part of the decoration within this house. You see how large and vast it was. It goes on, and you walk around the house essentially in the museum. You are up on essentially a walkway, kind of a deck, and it follows room by room throughout the house. Here you see the Temple of Vesunna, the Tower of Vesunna, the imposing remains of which are still present just outside in the museum park.